Welcome along to another episode of Blue Ribbon Baking. Now, every year, hundreds of very talented cooks across Queensland spend hours preparing their entries for the Royal Queensland Show's cooking competition. And I've quite often seen this gentleman's name next to the blue ribbon when you're looking in those lovely glass cabinets. Geoff Beattie, you have one exceptional prize-winning recipe for us this morning.
It's Florence Morgan rich fruit cake. First of all, you get your fruit and you cut up. You have your measured amount of sultanas and raisins and currants. You cut the raisins and sultanas.
Cut them?
You cut them, oh yes.
You're allowed to put them in whole?
No, not for show work. The raisins you cut into about 4 pieces and the sultanas about 2.
Now, no doubt there are certain stipulations when it comes to your fruit, your dried fruit. Are you allowed to put in, say, crystallised, like pineapple or other thing? My nan used to put pineapple in hers. Is that allowed?
Not the rich fruit cake. This rich fruit cake is basically just what I've got here. Sultanas, raisins and currants, cherries and mixed peel. You can also use almonds. I do not use almonds in mine because of people's allergies.
How many years have you been entering? At the Ekka in particular?
This would be 30 years. This year would be 30 years.
Any idea of how many blue ribbons you've won?
I would probably have won close to 4,000 awards around Southeast Queensland and the Royals Nationals in Australia.
And do you like being a part of the cooking competition?
I love the show cooking competition. Met so many friends along the way, and it's a comradeship between the exhibitors and the competitors, and most of us are all pretty good. I don't think there's any nastiness in amongst us. We're all there to win. I would be a liar if I said I'm not there to win. I definitely like to win, but we lose graciously.
Oh, that's nice.
These are the currants. They don't have to be cut because see they're
tiny, aren't they?
They're small enough.
Yeah.
You get it all cut up equal. See how neat and see how nice and fine that is? That's so that when you bake your cake and cut your cake, it's all nice and even. When it's all cut up, I soak it in.
Oh, a little bit of rum there. Now, is it rum or brandy that you should use?
No, I use rum and sherry. This is here ready to go into a cake mix. See how neatly it's all soaked up?
So what's next?
Okay, well, after your next morning, you get your butter. Make sure your butter's nice and soft.
So you've got a ½ pound going in there?
Yeah, it's a ½ pound of Norco butter.
Beautiful and creamy, isn't it?
Yeah, I usually cut it up. See, that's nice and soft. That's 250 grams of brown sugar, and then I use the butter. Put the butter in.
Oh, and butter is better, isn't it?
Oh yes. I only use butter in any show cooking, and then you put in about
half a teaspoon.
Yeah, just salt brings out flavour. Some people don't use salt, but salt brings out all flavours in everything that comes in there. Cream in the butter and the sugar and the salt. You do that. When that's creamed and all the butter's creamed nicely, then I add my eggs. You add the eggs one at a time, you wait until it's all beat in.
So this is a flavouring?
This is the flavouring.
What's this one, vanilla?
This is vanilla.
Like an extract rather than a
This is this is extract.
Oh, yum.
I usually do 2 tablespoons of that, but this is a half mix, so I'm only putting 1 in. Lemon essence.
Oh, so a touch of citrus in there.
Oh yeah, that brings your flavours. That's your flavours.
And is that hickory?
I use coffee. Yeah, I use hickory coffee essence.
Yum.
That gives it a bit of a darker flavour, and then the syrup. You can use syrup or treacle. Every judge don't have the same liking, so a lot of the prizes it depends on what the judge likes. Now, I'll beat that all in now.
Oh, that looks fabulous.
That's ready to go. I get this here, put this into a bigger bowl.
So that's your fruit that's been soaking in the sherry and the rum.
We'll only use half of this because it's a big mix, is a full one.
Now while you're juicing that, can I ask you, do you have to do several attempts, or do you just find that first time, every time you're happy with the product to be an entry?
Oh, I do a couple entries. I will admit, I do more than one cake to take down, and I usually pick out which one come out the best.
So you didn't have to strain that orange? It's just.
No, I never use to strain it because the orange flavour's all. It's all orange. That cooks up. See that one there? That'll cook up.
So does the host get to lick those?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now.
Oh my goodness! Can I just have that mix before you...
Oh no! Yuck.
I'd eat a whole bowl of that.
Now this here, I just use a bit of this flour. I mix that in with the fruit, and I mix that in a little bit so that.
So what's it doing? It's coating the fruit.
Coats the fruit. It coats the fruit, and it helps to give it a more even distribution of the cake when you get it all mixed in. So this all in here. Right, this is the 300 grams of plain flour, 30 grams of self-raising flour, and spice and cloves, ground cloves. I use mixed spice and ground cloves. Now I just put that all in there.
Now, how long do you prep your oven for, generally?
I put my oven on to 120 degrees. I don't like it too hot at all, because the slower you cook these cakes, the better they are. That's getting fairly nicely mixed. See how evenly
Gorgeous.
that is done?
So you're judged on that, aren't you? That once they cut through the cake,
Yes,
if the fruit is bunched at the bottom,
That's
it has
what they do. The
dropped.
distribution of the fruit is one of the main things when they cut the cake. Here is a pre-lined tin. You line your tin. I usually spray it with a bit of spray, and then I use the baking paper. Now this is ready to go into the tin. I use it and I spoon it in. You make sure you get it all pushed into the corners.
Now, is that stopping your air bubbles, forming?
And bubbles around the outside. That's when you judge it when you're cooking.
How long can you keep a good rich fruit cake for afterwards?
Oh, 12 months.
Wow.
If it's cooked properly, they'll last for 12 months. Try to be as even around as you can so that you've got your same height of your cake all the way around. Now, when I get it all in,
Okay. 2, 3.
I sometimes drop it on the floor even. You've got to try and then get this top level, nice and level. Right, I see how it's uneven there, so for a nice top. You wet your hand.
Oh.
Right.
And all those little dints there are going to even out.
I'll show you when I finish here.
It's gone all glossy.
That's right. That's the idea of it.
Perfect.
See?
That is magnificent.
That is almost ready to go into the oven. I usually just get 2 sheets of paper and I fold it to the height of your tin, right?
Oh, it's like a little coat. It's snug as.
Put that around there.
So you've basically lined it inside and out.
Inside. Outside is so that the cake does not cook too fast. There's nothing worse than a fruit cake that's burnt.
So you've got a very slow oven for how long?
Well, this size cake is cooked for about 5 hours. I usually put in the oven, cardboard underneath. On top I put paper on top to keep it cooking very slow. I only cook it at 120 degrees and I'll cook that cake for... I set the thing to around about 4.5 hours and then I don't open it, I just smell. And when it's very near, I always take it out, I turn the oven off and I listen.
To your cake?
Cakes talk to you, know.
Do they?
Yes.
All right.
You listen, but if it's still making a sizzling noise, it's got to go back in, otherwise it would not be cooked.
Oh, look at that.
There it is.
All right. Now, do you get nervous at this stage?
No.
You don't?
I've done it so many times. Tip him upside down.
Now, would you take it straight out after it's come out of the oven?
No. When you take it out the oven, you put this, I usually put this paper over it, a tea towel, and then I double wrap it in towel, have a towel sitting, and you leave it cool very slowly.
Okay.
Otherwise they get too dry.
Okay. Now, obviously, it's in the preparation. You're judged on the preparation and what's gone into it, with your fruit and everything.
That's right.
The taste, but also in what it looks like once it's cut.
Yeah, well, you look at also the outside. First thing you do with a cake when you judge it is you look at the outside. This probably isn't. You see these marks here?
Look at that, it looks fantastic.
Well, I'm a judge now, and
Right.
you're not supposed to have that.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to cut this cake.
How does it feel?
You can feel the cake if it's going to be good. It's cutting very, very nicely, and it feels as though it's well cooked. See, there's no.
And the big reveal? Oh, beautiful. So there's no glugginess anywhere, it's all
It's all cooked.
beautifully...
It's well cooked. It's cooked right through.
All your fruits even.
Yep.
Geoff, thank you so much for sharing this beautiful recipe with us. I think it's probably time we put the kettle on, hey, and have a nice big slice.
Yes, we can do that. You want me to cut some?
I think so. And make sure you see our other episodes of Blue Ribbon Baking. Hopefully Geoff has inspired you to give the beautiful dark, rich fruit cake a go. Oh, yummy.